Welcome back, Awakening Beauties. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Robin. If this is your first time joining me, I welcome you. The focus of my channel this year is primarily about doing a no-buy year. I'm choosing not to buy any new skincare unless I need a replacement. Makeup, that's a hard one. Clothes, that's even harder. Shoes, that's the hardest one. And I'm not decorating my house this year. So this came out of necessity last year when I found myself overspending, especially when it came to the beauty portion of that no-buy that I have chosen. This really came out of necessity as I found myself in sort of a unsustainable buying cycle. Last year I turned 50 years old and I was sort of freaked out about it, and I was thinking I need to do stuff to keep my appearance now that I'm 50. And then I started watching a lot of YouTube influencers, which I really don't know how I had stayed away from them for so long. But not that there's anything wrong with what they do. And I found myself wanting more makeup and wanting more different, very expensive types of skincare. Just found myself in a bad cycle of wanting products, wanting devices to help keep that youthful appearance, spending money on certain supplements that may or may not have made a difference, not sure. Maybe I didn't use them long enough, but I used them like 6 months. And you know, it was just a matter of needing to like take a break, slow down, reassess, appreciate who I am. And I am very happy with who I have become. And at 50, I feel mentally healthier than I ever have. So I have done a Cellerciser challenge, what I called it, several years ago, many years ago, in fact. And I saw a lot of benefits, and I love my Cellerciser. If you don't know what a Cellerciser is, it's a mini trampoline. And I really believe in the benefits of this type of exercise. I saw results when I was using it regularly, when I was making those videos, and I did put it into a playlist, and I might have deleted that playlist, but I will make it again, and this will also go into that playlist because I am not planning to just do this for 4 weeks or 6 weeks, but really this is something that I want to do for the rest of my life. And so there's so many health benefits to it, and I'll talk about some of those, and I'll leave the links below as well if you want to do your own research. As of this point, I am not an affiliate for anybody. I'm not an affiliate for Cellerciser, although I did apply for one. I'll see if they give it to me. If they do, I'll pass those savings on to you, and I'll leave it in the description box below. But I would love to be an affiliate for them because I talk about the Cellerciser all the time. I mean, I have talked to it up and down to everybody I know. I tell them about the Cellerciser, even when I'm not using mine, which I haven't been. And I'm ashamed that I haven't been. But last week I made a video where I was sort of just ranting about, am I burned out? And I've been feeling a little burned out lately, just kind of burning the candle at both ends, doing too much. And one of the things that had fallen by the wayside since the beginning of the year is exercise. And boy, am I feeling it. When I got on the Cellerciser for the first time, which was at the beginning of the week, I've been doing it for a full week now, and boy, the next day I was sore. I was like 10 minutes of this and I'm sore. So yeah, it's so easy when, especially as you get older, to really lose the gains that you had gotten from exercise. You really quickly, like when you fall off the wagon, you can start to lose muscle, and I feel like I'm starting from square one. But yeah, the first thing that I said in that video is I gotta start moving again. I have not been moving enough. And part of that has to do with I switched jobs. I'm working much further away than I used to. And so I'm in the car an hour and a half to 2 hours a day, just driving to and from work. And I'm working longer hours, and it's a bigger responsibility. I'm now a senior designer. If you don't know, if you haven't joined my channel, I'm a fashion designer. And of all things, I work for an athletic sportswear company, designing clothes for athletes. So, one of the perks of that job is I do get samples when we clean out our sample room. That's really nice. And in fact, in this video, you'll see one of those samples was that tank top that I'm wearing. So it's very easy to make excuses for ourselves that we're tired, we don't have enough time, and I've made all of those excuses myself, and I'm just really devoted to not making those choices anymore. By not making those choices, I mean not making the choice to make excuses. It's sort of convoluted way of saying that I've made the choice to start exercising again. And so what I decided to do was I'm just going to do 10 minutes in the morning. There's several things. There's like 5 or 6 things on that list that I need to do to avoid burnout, to turn this around, turn this feeling of burnout around for myself. And I hope this will be of value to you. I think a lot of people are feeling burnout lately. And I'm certainly hearing a lot of influencers on YouTube talking about it, and I'm feeling it myself. There's just so much going on in the world. We live such a hectic pace. People used to live much slower lives, I think. I do believe that. I know I did. Maybe now, since the world is opened back up after we went through so many years of things being shut down, and it was kind of a nice rest in a way, but now it's time to, now things have picked back up, and it feels very chaotic. I feel like the energies in the world are very, very chaotic. In fact, I mean, last weekend, just for instance, last weekend, I was driving around and I felt it before it happened. I felt the frenzy of the traffic. This was on a Sunday. And sure enough, I got rear-ended. Just like that. So I need to slow down a bit in my life. That accident was not my fault, obviously. It was a person who was not paying attention behind me because someone in front of me braked suddenly, and we weren't even going that fast, thankfully. And there was just a little bit of damage, and it's no big deal. I'm fine, by the way. But either way, I do want to talk about some of the benefits of rebounding. I personally, after all the research that I did when I bought my Cellerciser many years ago, I did a lot of research about it because I already had a rebounder, which just was a piece of crap, fell apart. It was jarring, it hurt my neck and back. And I said, when it fell apart, you know, it's just like, by that time, I had only had it a few years and the company had already gone out of business because I tried contacting the company. And so anyways, I said, I'm going to invest in the Cellerciser. I know that this is a good exercise. I did a bunch of research on all the different types of rebounders out there, and I really believe that the Cellerciser is the top of the line if you're interested in rebounding. And if you want to do it, you know, you got to be careful because some of these products are not well made and they are more jarring. There is a big difference in the quality and you can actually end up hurting yourself. So I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just, especially though if you have neck and back problems, you're going to want to invest in a good quality rebounder. And Cellerciser to me is, like I've said, it's one of the best. So how does a rebounder work? Well, we know how it works. You bounce on it. But I mean, on a health level, why is it better than other types of exercise? Well, all of the research, and you can Google it yourself and find all the research. I'll share some screenshots because I have my laptop open right now and I'm recording the screen. So I'll share some of that information with you. But in case you're interested, it works on a cellular level, which is why Dave Hall named it a Cellerciser, because it actually exercises your lymphatic system. There's an article here from the Cleveland Clinic, many health benefits of exercising on a trampoline. And it doesn't go, this article does not go into the lymphatic part of it. It talks more about how it builds strength, that unlike targeted training, jumping requires the use of multiple muscles. So Dave Hall always says it's a full body workout. He's the inventor of the Cellerciser, So when you jump, though, you use the entire momentum of your body, which forces all of your different muscles to work simultaneously. All that up and down works everything from your abs to your glutes, your legs, back muscles, and I can attest to this. It works your whole body. Number 2, it improves bone density and it betters your balance. Good for your heart, relieves stress. All of that I find absolutely true. Then there's this other website I found, 17 benefits of trampoline exercise. And here it talks about that it increases lymphatic flow in the body. And just basically the lymphatic system is a network of tissues and organs which help to get rid of body toxins, wastes, and unwanted materials in the body. So unlike the cardiovascular system, which is your heart is a pump. It pumps the blood through your veins and arteries. But unlike that, the lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. So it relies on your own body movement to move this fluid through your body and eliminate waste. Well, we live a very sedentary lifestyle nowadays. So getting that lymphatic system working and eliminating toxins and waste that build up in our tissues and organs is even more difficult. But by rebounding, it acts as like a pump to flush out those organs and tissues and eliminate toxins and waste, which then you can eliminate through sweat, urine, going poopy. So it improves. Because of that, it improves the function of your immune system. So the lymphatic system is a vital part of the immune system. It is the defense against viruses, diseases, and infection. The lymph contains a high number of certain types of white blood cells called lymphocytes, which are responsible for fighting infections in the body. Rebounding causes the valves of the lymphatic system to open and close simultaneously and keep increasing lymph flow as much as 15 times. So, well, all of this boosts your immunity and helps to slow down the aging process. So there's other things that are listed on this particular website about helping to reduce cellulite, strengthening the skeletal system. So it's all of that up and down motion. It's the increased G-force when you're rebounding that actually is what helps to strengthen that skeletal system. In fact, NASA uses this for their astronauts who have come back from space. Instead of making them run on a treadmill to build back up their muscular and skeletal system, they'll actually have them rebound. So it's proven science, and if it's good enough for the astronauts, it's good enough for me. So this talks about increasing mitochondrial production and cellular energy. Now, this is what Dave Hall talks about. Rebounding on a trampoline will automatically increase the mitochondrial count in each cell due to the extra demand for energy by the cells in the body. So your mitochondria are basically like little batteries, little power plants inside your cell that provide your cell with energy. So this will increase your available energy as well as your body's capacity for using that energy. That means the trampoline exercise, your metabolism is jump started and you will be losing weight long after you have finished exercising. And in addition, you will feel energetic. So improving balance is another one. One of the great things about rebounding, especially if you have balance issues, you can get a balance bar to hold on to with it, by the way. Mine, I don't have mine on there. I don't use it anymore. But if you're unsteady on your feet or whatever, definitely, usually it'll come with it, and if not, you can just pay a little extra to get the balance bar. But one of the great things about it is when we get older, some of the things that cause older people to fall is their balance, and it's not knowing where your body is in space. If you just stand up and close your eyes, you might feel yourself start to sway. Now try to lift a foot with your eyes closed, and being able to connect your mind with your body and where your body is in space, that's what athletes do so beautifully. Look at Olympic divers, and gymnasts, and having to know where their body is in space. So all of that bouncing up and down will help you to basically reconnect your mind to your body in space. So that's an added benefit as well. So it is a low impact cardiovascular exercise, and you can really get your heart rate up. Don't think that it's, that you're not going to get a great workout on it. You actually do. But one of the benefits is that it is gentle on your knees, gentle on your ankles, and all of your joints. It's very easy on them, especially if you get a good quality rebounder, which is why I keep emphasizing to do your research and get a good quality one if you're going to buy one. So on the Cellerciser website, he's listing over 200 different benefits, and I'm not going to go through all of them. I've covered a bunch of them already, but he also talks about that this can, if you do high interval training, high intensity interval training, that adding the Cellerciser is really beneficial rather than like trying to get on a treadmill and running or something like that to get your heart rate up. That this is a low impact but high intensity type of exercise. So some other benefits is just because you're doing exercise and you're getting the blood flow to your brain and whatnot, that you're going to have increased, and this is why I need to make sure I'm doing this more, you have increased memory and brain functioning. It helps to fight fatigue, improving sexual health. That's an interesting one. We won't go into that right now. In here he talks about increasing your balance. So this is really important as you get older to increase your balance, and the Cellerciser or a rebounder is a wonderful way to do that. Other ways that it's helpful is with reaction time, increasing your reaction time. That's sort of like goes along with knowing where your body is in space and increasing your coordination. Also helps to improve elimination, and I think that's helping me this week since I started with it, because I tell you, all right, are we going to talk about poop? Let's talk about poop. This is a subject that people don't want to talk about, but let me tell you, pooping is very important. And I used to be so regular, and this may be TMI, but let me tell you, I've been, for the past month, I've been struggling with a little bit of constipation, and I do not like it. I do not like it at all. But this week, things have been moving a little bit better. So number 74 on his list is sing better. And he's saying it can help you improve your singing voice, which I, as a musician and as a songwriter, as a singer-songwriter, I've been writing a bunch of songs lately. So I'm looking forward to that benefit the further I get in this. And really any cardiovascular type of exercise will help with that. But that's just another benefit of rebounding. So I'm not going to get into all 200 plus of the different benefits that he talks about in this list. Again, I'll put a link. You can check it out yourself. But I do want to talk about what benefits I've experienced in this past week, or at least to tell you, or at least, to talk about how that I have been getting up and I have been doing it for 10 minutes every morning. I'm super proud of myself. Wasn't as easy at the beginning of the week. It's getting easier now, and I really enjoy it. I'm like, once I get on it and start bouncing and I'm listening to music and everything, I'm like, wow, why haven't I been doing this all along? But it's like anything that's good for us, sometimes we don't do those things for ourselves. So I'm gonna put a little footage up here. I think it's a little embarrassing, but one of the things that people have asked me in the past is for me to show a demonstration of what I do. And listen, I'm not doing anything special. I'm just simply starting with about a minute of what I'm going to use the terms that Dave Hall uses for the different types of bounces. I spent about a minute doing a baby bounce, where that's just a gentle bouncing just to get things going, because I'm doing this first thing in the morning, just kind of loosening things up here. And then I do a twisting motion, and this really helps with your getting your digestive system working and moving things around and along inside your bowel. This is a great exercise for that. It's also great for core strength. And now he does not recommend doing jumping jacks, but I will give the caveat that I have short legs. And even if you don't have short legs, you could do a jumping jack. You just have to be mindful that you don't spread your legs too far, because if you're like hitting the edge of the springs, you could break a spring. So he doesn't recommend doing jumping jacks. I'm gonna say do jumping jacks with a very, very small step to the side. But it's great to get your arms moving. And I'll say another benefit is you can work different parts of your body. Just by putting your arms out to the sides, putting your arms out straight, putting them to the back, you're working different parts of your muscle. And that G-force is actually it's the acceleration and deceleration, which creates the G-force on the muscle, that you actually are toning your muscles by doing that. You could also do curls while you're jumping, which I do as well. And you know, you're getting a little muscle workout there. And you could even bounce, you could use weights if you wanted to. I don't, but you know, and you know, even if you're using 3-pound weights, because of the G-force of the bounce, I don't know the math, I'm not a mathematician, but it's creating more than just 3-pound curls. It's probably like almost double that when you're bouncing. Don't quote me, I don't know, but I suspect that it's about that. So then there's another bounce that I do where I'm kicking my legs out to the front, and I do like 20 times on each side, and that's just working like your hamstrings. And then I will do 20 on each side of kicking out to the sides, and that's working your outer thigh and your glutes. I don't know muscle names. And then I do take, and you know, that this is where I found, oh, I've really let myself go, because when I ran in place, I used to be able to run in place, and this is like the high intensity training where you run in place as fast as you can. And I can do it, I don't know, maybe 15 seconds right now, 15 to 20 seconds. And then another one that really works your quads and your glutes and your hamstrings, all those big muscle groups at the bottom, is called the Jamba run. And this is where you're sort of squatted down like a football player, and you're going back and forth with your legs as fast as you can. And man, your thighs will burn. And my thighs were burning. And right now I'm up to about 12 seconds. I used to be able to do like 20 to 25 second spurts of this. And you don't want to do it for that long. I mean, you want to keep it short and sweet and do a few sets of these. I do 2 to 3 sets, depending on the day. I've been doing a couple of, probably 2 sets for now. And yeah, my thighs I was sore the next day. I couldn't believe how sore I was. So anyways, so I do that. And then there's another type of balance where you can, you know, actually sit on it, and you can support yourself with your arms back. I've been trying to just use my own, try to stabilize myself and your feet are in the air. And it's almost like, what is that yoga pose? I just kicked the camera. It's like a boat, and you're just bouncing. You're using your core muscles to bounce. And at the same time, you're leaning back. And so that's creating, you know, a workout on your core. You're leaning back with your feet up. And so it's like working everything, but it's really working your core. And I'll do that for about 30 seconds to 30 to 50 seconds. Sometimes at the end of that, I will support myself with my arms and lower my legs a little bit, you know, because I'm getting tired. but that's another bounce that I do. And then I just kind of, you know, have fun with it, kind of dance around, bounce around after I've done like the strenuous things. And then I have my 10 minutes and it's super easy. And so it's really too early for me to give like a lot of updates about it. I was sort of in denial about how much weight I had gained since I started working at this new job. And it's not a lot. I've gained 4 pounds, okay? Here's the deal. I've gained 4 pounds. But I can really feel it, and I can feel, you know, the lack of exercise and how that's been affecting me as well. So yeah, this is what I'm starting at. And I made that list that I was gonna start with Cellerciser, and that's what I'm doing for this past week, making it a part of my routine. Another thing that I have added into my morning routine, I'll just pop in here. I've been making myself a lemon water every morning. I squeeze an entire lemon and I strain out all the seeds and pulp and everything, and then I fill up a mason jar, a large mason jar, with water and put the lemon juice in there. And then I've been adding just like a teaspoon of honey just to give it a little bit of sweetness. And I try to drink at least half of that first thing in the morning, and then I sip on it, the rest of it, and finish it up by late morning. And so that way I'm getting lemon water into my routine, and that's really helping. That's like so refreshing, and it like just feels really good. It feels like it's cleaning out my cells. It's a way for me to get more water, because I know I've also been dehydrated. I have not been drinking enough water. So that's goal. I'm accomplishing that goal this past week, and I'm going to continue to add more water into my day. That is definitely a goal of mine. And I've put meditation on the back burner, which is not a good thing, but I really have been focused on my sleep. And let me tell you, I have my sleep goal set on my Apple Watch. My sleep goal is 8 hours a night. And in the past month, I've hit that goal twice. I've hit it twice because it gives me a little congratulations. And I've only gotten that twice in the past month, which means that I'm sleeping less than 8 hours a night. So I've really been focused on trying to get those 8 hours. And this week, I am going to add meditation back in. And so that's week 2 goal, is keep rebounding, keep drinking more water, and meditating. And I might have to just make that a shorter meditation to get it in, and not up to my 1 hour meditations that I was doing. So I'll let you know how that goes. But I will continue to make little videos. I definitely won't be as long as this video has been, but I know there's people that are interested in this product and rebounding, and to know if it works. And I'll continue to make little update videos to let you know how that's going. I'll keep you apprised of my progress with it. And, you know, the goal is, yes, everybody wants to lose weight. And yes, I know I need to lose weight for my health. I do. And I will admit that. I love who I am. I'm not criticizing myself. I'm not looking at myself and thinking, ugh. I'm good to myself nowadays. I treat myself really nicely. I treat myself like the friend I always wanted. But I do know that for my health, that this is something that I need to do. And I can't keep taking my health for granted, because, you know, I am 50 years old, and you can get to a point where it's really hard to turn things around. And I'm not to that point right now, but I don't want to get to that point where it would be almost impossible to turn it around. So I'm just saying this for myself, and maybe this resonates with some of you. Just remember to be kind to yourself, to love yourself, and love yourself enough to do the healthy things that you deserve to do for yourself. And if you don't take care of you, nobody is going to do that for you. Nobody can do that for you. You have to do it for yourself. And I'm saying this for me. I'm not preaching to you guys. I'm preaching to myself when I'm saying these things, that I got to start taking me and my health seriously. And that's what I'm trying to do. So thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you so much. And, you know, I'll see you next time. But remember, until then, you're doing great.